Today's program is leap date. It is used to find date from a declared day number and year. So we have year and a day number of the year. For example, in 365 it may be 100, it may be 80. That's the day number from the entire year. So we have those two and we have to find the date of that year. So I am CGR. Welcome to Education Valley. Today we have another amazing video on the Java program. So let's do it. So we have a few problems to tackle in this program. We have to check validity of the entered day number, whatever it is. After that, we have to check it is a leap year or not. After that, we have to find the month and then the day. So we have to do it in 4 steps. This is relatively very simple program. So enter the year, we take the number of the year. After that, we see if the day number is right or wrong. I mean, we are using reverse checking here. If it is not right, then it is a wrong input. After that, if it is true, we write the whole program inside an else loop for that. Okay, so let me demonstrate it first using the day number 43 and year 2012. After that, we will look into how we check the leap year and how we find month and how we use that month for calculating day, etc. But first, let's focus on the theory. So this is the theory of how to check. We have taken this example. The year is 2012 and the day number of the year is 73. So apparently it is a leap year, if you all know that. So leap year, so we will use the second array to take the numbers from the array. So the logic behind is that first what we do is we have to find the month from the number of day number. So how we calculate month is, see, so for example we have 73. So what month will it be? We will calculate the only number we have is 73 and we have to find the month of that day, which month that day lies in. So we calculate 31 plus 29, it is 60, plus we add the next one which is 91, so it is 91. So it should fall within this range. So when we calculated the first two, it was not in that range, but when we added the third one, so it got in that range. So now we have the month of our year. So we have the year, we have the month, now we have to find the date. So if we calculate the first month, the second one, we add both of them, which is like 60. So we now know the month of the year, so we can stop the loop for first two months and then reduce the number from the actual day number we have. 73 minus 60, that will be 13, and it is our 13th March 2024 or 2012, whatever we take. So that is what we do in this program. So let's go to the code line by line and see this program, how it goes through. Okay, so we start the program. We take a scanner in object to take an input. After that, we ask for the year, then we ask for the day number of the year. We take that, then we do a reverse checking to check if it is a right input or not. It is wrong input if the day number is greater than 366 or it's less than 1, which is not possible. Okay, so then we declare a few variables for our work, and then we take January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Also, you will notice that we have left the first space as blank. I will show you later on why we did it. After that, we take two arrays, first for normal year and the second for the leap year. After that we do a leap year checking. For leap year checking, so here is how we check for a leap year. So for example, we have taken 1900 and we have taken 2024. Those two are good conditions for leap year check. So the logic for leap year is it should either be completely divisible 400 or it should be divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100. Those two, there are two conditions. Either it's completely divisible by 400 or it is divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100 at the same time. So for example, in 900 it's not divisible by 400 because it leaves a remainder of 300, of course, and it's divisible by 4 and it is divisible by 100, so it is not a leap year. It divisible, when I say divisible, I mean that it is completely divisible and leaves a remainder of 0, like it leaves no remainder. Now in case of 2024, it is not divisible by 400, but it is divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100, so 2024 is a leap year. As simple as that. So we checked for the leap year. After that we choose whichever, according to that we will choose which array we have to use to add numbers. So here the logic we are using is we are increasing C++, and every place we use C is equals to 0 to check if we have to add from the first array or the second array. If C is equals to 0 means it was not a leap year and we add from mm1, and if it was a leap year we add from mm2. Okay, perfect. So first we find the month. As I told you, we try to find the month. So month of the number. So here we have taken example of 73. So we add the month of that number till that date. So first try the loop will add till 31. So here our example, we will add the mm2, so it will add till 31 if day number is less than 31. If day number is less than or equal to day number is 73, we have added till 31, so it is still more, so it will continue adding. We will add, this time it will go till 60. We will add till 60. Okay, we added till 60, but then we check day number is less than equal to day number is not less than equal to also. Both of these for loops are required and we cannot do it in one because one is exceeding the number till which we are calculating to do that work. Like first loop is going till 91 and the second loop is going till 60. That's why we require both of that loops. One stops after or at end of that month and one stops before that month and then calculate the number of days that are left. So that's why we require both of that loop. So in the second iteration it goes till 60 and the condition is still not fulfilled, so the loop will run again, and the third time it goes till it adds till 91. Now if condition is true, day number which is 73 is less than which is 90, so month is stored as 3 and this whole loop breaks. So now we have the month and has 90. It does not matter. Then the next loop starts. The next loop will stop at which is 3 in this case, and so it will stop at 2. So it will add numbers from the first till it will add till 31, and then it will go and add till 60. it added till 60, and the third one didn't process because it stopped after the second iteration. So it added till 60. Now we will the day number minus the number added, which is 73 minus 60. 73 minus 60, we will get the date of that day number using that year. So we have 13, we have the month, and we have the year. We already had the year, so we found the month and the date. After that, we have two options. Now we have to print the entered date in a reasonable way, the way we do it in English language. So for that, okay, so see here, normal English language works as 1303/2024. So normal, this is like a date, proper date. Normal English language will start this with 1 2 3 4 5, but in programming we will start with 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. This is what we do in programming. So that is why we have right now 1 and 2. Like in M started at, this was 0, it was 1, this was 2. So in M right now we have only 0 1 2. Right now at it stopped at third position, so we have 2 0 1 2. We have 2, but the actual month is March. That is why we either m is equals to m plus 1, we increase the value of m, and then it becomes easy to add at the whole place. Otherwise you have to make m plus 1 at every output, or what you do is increase it right here and add a empty space and for the 0th position and write the rest of the month here. So last nuance in this program is how you display the date. So to display the date we have a few different options. So first of all, we display the 2-digit number in a different way, and then just we display 2-digit number in one way, like every other number. Then we display the number which ends with first, second, and third in a different way, and then for all else we display it in the same way as the 2-digit numbers. But since these will come before the last ISTth, that's why we have to create a different loop for this one, for the 2-digit numbers. Okay, so that's why we have to take 11 to 13 in a different loop. If these two are done, this is done. After that we take in account of the other numbers in that way. So simply we also how you decide which, whether it is 1 or it is 2 or second or it is third. So for that we already have the day of that month, so we find the last digit of that date, which we find by modulus 10. So modulus 10 is simple, it just removes gives us remainder of the last digit, like it's used to separate the first and the last digit. Modulus 10, modulus 100 removes the last 2 digit, modulus 1000 removes last 3 digit, like it removes the number of digits at the end with the number of zeros we have, kind of. So we will have the last digit using modulus 10, last 2 digit using modulus 100, and then we perform the simple task of writing and framing it this way. Also, this is the way using plus we can display it properly, like combining strings and variables in one output. This is the way you do it. Okay, so this was the program. It will be in the description below. Let me run it once and show it to you. 2024. Enter the number 73 13th March 2024. Let me also enter a few more. 2012. Let's go to extreme and 366. Enter. 31st December 2012. Perfect. It is also a leap year. Perfect. 31st 12 2012. So that was the program. Thank you.